My name is Adrian Nantchev, and this channel is all about helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur. So click on the subscribe button below and press the bell notification next to it for the latest uploads. Now, you and I have to outsource our work, parts of our business, before we're comfortable and ready to do so. This is something I've been taught by my mentor, and it's something I'm going to apply shortly in my business. We need to find ways, we need to outsource parts of the business to people before we're ready to, because that way it frees up our time to focus on what is called income producing activities, so we can leave the day-to-day running of the business to somebody else, so we can focus on growing it, marketing it, getting more customers and such. As well as also, as we start to outsource, we think up new things that the person can do for us, new things that they can do in the time we're paying for them. For example, in my hemp business that I'm launching, I've more or less started now, or like a few days ago, or a week ago. For the first 100 or so orders, I'm going to do them myself, to know what the system is, know what the steps are, ABC. Afterwards, I'm going to need a virtual assistant. That virtual assistant can handle the day-to-day running of the business, handle the customer service, the products, the orders, the email updates, stuff like that. Of course, I'll get an update and in touch with her and all the rest. And then what I will do is just focus on building the channel, building awareness, getting more people to the website, getting more customers. That will free up my time, because you've got to also value your time as well. Because if you're getting, say, £100 an hour, and you're then spending 1 hour fulfilling all these orders, then that's time that's taken away from what you could have done to increase your income by 1%, for example, in that 1 hour. Rather than spending 1 hour fulfilling orders, I can spend that 1 hour creating more content that gets me more customers, and in that 1 hour, 100 quid, I can spend, say, 5, 10, 20 quid on a virtual assistant doing all the work for me, or even a personal assistant. Essentially someone to outsource the work to. Delegate. Delegate, delete, or ignore. Delegate, give it to somebody else to do. Delete, is it really important? Is it really worth doing? Or ignore. Forget about it. Not worth it. Don't worry about it. Bleh. Who cares? But that's something I want to do. And this is also something I kind of failed at in my previous business, the one that I'm trying to move away from, where after this recording I got some orders to fulfill for customers. There's nothing wrong with it. It's working. It's important. But it's like, there's better things to do with my time. And then I gotta go to the post office to physically deliver the product, and I might probably tomorrow, not sure, might need to get some more supplies, and it's just like, this is a waste of my time, arguably. Because you've got to focus, you've got to dedicate your time on income producing activities, and doing the orders is not going to increase your income. It's a day-to-day running of the business, which is important. But you need to focus on things that are going to increase the bottom line, which is why later on I want to get a team, so I'll do a draft of these blogs, and I could draft a script, for example, and they can fill it all in for me and write it all out for these blogs. So all I do is I just record, I just do this, and they do everything else. They upload it, they share it, they put it on Reddit and Steam it and etc. All I do is just record, because it's the face. It's the face you're building a business with. You build a business when you see a face, when you can put a face to a business, you're more willing to know, like, and trust it. And when you trust it, you're more willing to buy from it and stay loyal to it. Because trust in this, especially this day and age, is very invaluable, very, very expensive, very, very valuable. So it's worth considering. So you want to outsource before it's comfortable, and we say comfortable because when you do it, you grow into it. You grow into it, and you get used to it, and you think, oh, I've got this little thing to do. Yeah, give it to the assistant. I need an extra hour. Okay, rather than 4 hours, to go for 5 hours. Yeah, sure. Just hire them for 6 hours and 7 hours a day, because ultimately you can achieve more by having more people on your team. And also, there's an idea that if you've got someone in a different time zone as you, you've got double time. You've got twice as much work going off during the day, during the actual 24-hour period. Which, yeah, you're leveraging other people. What is it? OTT. No, OPT. Other people's time. OPT. Yeah. You're leveraging OPT, which is other people's time to get more stuff done. So the way I see it is like an organism, and I don't know what the word is, like in biology, the bigger and more complex the cell is, like us, the more cells we have inside us and the more organisms and more functionality we have, the exponentially more complicated our actions can be, and therefore the bigger our rewards can be. So if your cell, your business is only you, then there's only so much you can do at that time. But it's like a law of diminishing returns. The more people you get, the more exponential tasks you can achieve, but then it reaches a point where it's like a law of diminishing returns, as I said, where there's no point in hiring more people because there's not much more work to do, and there's only a proportionate amount or a disproportionate amount of rewards to be gotten from hiring more people. So that's an interesting thing to consider. Law of diminishing returns. Also worth considering is the revenue per head. When I want to, this is the one thing interesting. When I want to hire people, no, hold on. When I go to interviews and the person I'm talking to realises that I'm overqualified for this job, and they still think in terms of the job that I'm applying for, and it's yes or no, what I then think is, hang on a minute, if this person is overqualified for the job, I can use him for something else. I can use him for elsewhere. It's like back in October, I was at a job interview, some salesman role, and the guy was talking eventually about how his business lease, his lease option on the commercial property he had his office in, and I know a little bit about that and proper real estate, and we were talking about it for a few moments. I can't remember how long, maybe 5 minutes, no idea. And looking back in hindsight, I'm thinking, why didn't that guy hire me for something bigger and better? Because I think you should always have open vacancies for speculative CVs, because if the talent comes along and you think there's a place for him in my business, I don't need him for this job. For this, yeah, whatever. He's overqualified for that. He's a professional. I need him for that. And so long as everyone you hire is increasing what's called your revenue per employee, then your organisation will grow. If I come across one guy and he's way overqualified for this salesmanship job, and I realise he's a professional in, say, marketing, or he's like a fucking genius at marketing, then it's like, hang on a minute, mate, why don't you join my marketing department instead? There's no vacancies, but I don't care. I need you, I need the talent. I need your hands, I need your time, I need your energy, and I can leverage you. Don't just think in terms of, oh, he's not a salesman, yeah, or he's overqualified, oh yeah, can you be a salesman please? He's like, yeah, well, reluctantly do that for a few weeks, then fuck off. But always want to be outsourcing and leveraging, because you can do more. Now the question of the day is, do you need to outsource your business or any parts of it? What are you? There's two things I say: is do the work once and get paid forever, and be lazy and ambitious. So do you need to outsource any part of your business? Do the work once and get paid forever means it's like a standard, a minimum. How can I do this system, this thing, so I get customers all the time, and I click a few buttons? No. How can I do the work once and get paid forever? How can I record this video once, upload it once, share it once, and get paid in one way or another? Whether that increases traffic and gets more sales, or Google AdSense, or people go into the description of the video, etc., etc. How can I do the work once and get paid forever? It's like a minimum, like a standard to work towards. And the other thing is, how can I be lazy but ambitious? Meaning, I want to achieve this, I want to get there, but I can't be arsed. How can I do the minimum amount of energy? What is the minimum amount of energy or actions required to achieve that? I don't want to go the extra mile, exert more energy than I need to, because I'm still going to end up there. You can either run or walk a marathon. End result, but how lazy are you? So that, and ask yourself, do you need to outsource? In my business that I'm trying to get away from, I'm walking to the post office more or less every day. Walking or driving to the post office. I need to go spend 40 minutes, go get some more inventory, roughly once a week. I'm spending hours every week fulfilling orders. That equates to around 8 hours a week. Admittedly, it's much more smarter, much more leveraged than working elsewhere, in an office, for example, but at the same time, it's not as leveraged and sophisticated and optimized as it could be. That's the thing. Anyway, the question of the day is, do you need to outsource your business? Yes or no? Explain below. Also, click on the subscribe button below and press the bell notification next to it for the latest uploads. And you'll see me again soon. How cool is that?